This time, we're going for island inspiration.
This stuffy colonial is personality challenged.
It should be saying, come in, we're funky, we're friendly.
Our colorful homeowners want to liven things up.
And we'd really like to see something a little more lively, a little more fun.
Our designers got big plans
I see a huge opportunity here.
to go from traditional to tropical.
You like it?
I love it.
It's work, it's play, and it's everything in between on this curb appeal.
For the Singh family, life at home is a mix of work and play. While they have an amazing yard for lots of running around, JJ also makes and sells jewelry from her basement studio behind the house, which clients have trouble finding.
I was knocking at your front door.
I'm JJ.
Hi, it's a little ambiguous.
Well, the fact that I have a studio in my house is also really confusing for my clients because they don't know whether to go to the front door, whether to go around to the back.
And as an artist, JJ wants the front of her house to reflect her family's colorful personality.
Good job. You know, I really feel like the house the way it is right now is very staid and very formal, and that's just not our style. And we'd really like to see something a little more lively, a little more fun.
And right now, there's nothing fun about the plain Jane portico. A paint color that's classic, but really nothing special. And unmemorable landscaping that sure could use a shot of personality. It's hard to tell what kind of homeowners are living inside.
So you guys don't exactly like what your house is saying about you.
Well, it kind of says that we're old and falling apart.
Right, which you're clearly not.
And that's not right at all. It should be saying, come in, we're funky, we're friendly.
Designer Yvette Piaggio's come to the rescue and isn't wasting any time getting down to the nitty-gritty.
What bothers you guys about your house?
The driveway, we got weeds growing into it. Landscaping, it's kind of worn a little bit. The house is worn down a little bit.
Okay.
The exterior of the house does not match our personalities.
Those poles are rotting and the whole vestibule is about to fall down.
Would you be referring to the columns?
Columns, yeah.
I have a business out of my home, and I often will see clients out of my home. And so I wrestle with what is a professional way to have them enter the home that is not through the front door of our residence.
Okay. Do you like more of a coastal look, more of an Asian look, or the Hamptons, or Mediterranean vibe?
Something southern and relaxing, right?
Something southern would be nice.
I know that you guys like the beach and kind of the relaxed lifestyle. Like, I don't get the feeling.
We call it the lazy lifestyle.
The lazy, leisurely,
Yes.
laid back, relaxed lifestyle.
Right.
Okay, well, I don't really get the feeling that Charleston is really you, but I definitely can see going like more of the Key West. If you go down to Key West, they have these really like relaxed looking porches with the fans and the beadboard, and I really think that the house can translate into that look. It's all in the details and putting it together, so I'm really excited to get started.
Yvette will paint the house a relaxing green paint color to cover the pale yellow that's already on the house. And the pear tree will have to go. Then, brown accents like louvered shutters and a metal roof will add contrast to the green. And the Singhs will get the ultimate Key West essential, a porch that extends the length of the house. Landscaping for all 4 seasons will flank the front of the porch and the circle in the middle of the driveway. And finally, artistic elements, like a custom sculpture, will add the laid-back attitude that this family's looking for.
We're extending the indoors out, and I really want it to feel like them so that when their guests come to the front of the house, they're like, okay, we're at the Singh residence, and now what's next?
But we've got to rip things out before we build back up, and the old portico is the first to go. Right down to the last brick. While the demo is clearing way for the new porch, Yvette's taking JJ to a paint store. It's time to come up with the perfect Key West color.
Ever since we moved into this house, painting it has been something that we've always talked about doing.
Why don't we do this? I'll pick some, you pick some, and we'll meet at the table and compare.
Okay.
I need to go over here.
Don't look. You're not looking at me.
Nope.
All right,
color.
ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
You go.
Okay, here we go.
Ah, lovely.
And I was gravitating towards blue-gray kind of colors, and I'm not exactly sure where that came from.
The blue is great, but it reminds me more of Nantucket, a little bit more of a New England coastal vibe, where the green family, I think, can give you that nice pop of color, but still maybe be a little bit more subtle. So I did pull some brighter greens just to give you an option.
If we lived further south, maybe we could pull it off. I liked the concept of green, but maybe just tone down a little bit.
Looks like JJ and Yvette might reach a compromise.
I think that we can do this. I think this, the brighter colors are going to be a little bit too bright for us, but I think something in this sort of green, sagey, moss-like family,
muted.
yeah, a little bit more muted, will look. I think that'll work for us.
So it's still coastal, but yet serene.
Back at the house, we're tearing out the landscape. Everything in front of the house can go. But when it comes to the large pear tree that's blocking the house, our homeowners are in need of a little advice.
What do you think about that tree?
You know, I have a love-hate relationship with the tree. It's beautiful, I love it. It blooms for 2 weeks out of the year, and then once the blooms are gone, you know, it's just sort of blocking the entrance to the house, and we can't really see out into the yard.
But that's not the only problem.
Consideration with the Bradford pear is that it's at a point where it's in decline. A big storm could come along at any time and take half of the tree out with one big gust of wind.
And with the decision to tear the tree out made, the Singhs aren't wasting any time. So for safety's sake, it's out of here.
Well, with the tree gone, you can really see what the house looks like. And from the looks of it, it could use some leisurely luxury. And that's exactly what we have in store.
Coming up, a substantial walkway to bring in business. How to pick outdoor flooring that is beautiful and economical.
What's a better value for the homeowner?
And a porch roof that's pleasing to the eyes and ears.
And when it rains, the sound effects are amazing.
Next on Curb Appeal. JJ and Sonu Singh have started transforming their classic home into a breezy, light, and easy estate, straight out of the Keys. And today, they're meeting up with landscape designer Jeff Minnick to look at plant options for their yard.
We wanted to give kind of a loose, kind of a casual feel to the landscape.
And the first thing on his list is a replacement for the Bradford pear tree.
Crepe myrtles are great because they have a really beautiful exfoliating bark when they get older. You can see the beautiful fall color coming in. So you've got that for the fall. And then from about May to October in our area, we have the beautiful flowers that go all summer. Crepe myrtles will go forever. I mean, they're just long, long, long-lived trees.
We're so excited about the crepe myrtles. Number one, we already have some in the backyard, and this is going to tie in really nicely. And number two, I think they have a really long blooming season, which I think we'll really enjoy.
Right, it was kind of tough to lose the tree out front, but you know, at least these won't grow to cover the house.
Then he's got a few choices for in front of the porch.
Well, this is Nandina. This is the summer color, and then it turns kind of a wine color in the wintertime and holds its leaves. Tough as nails. It can grow in sun or shade.
And for some color,
These roses, we have some of these in our backyard. Is there any way to incorporate those in the front?
I think we can. These are the knockout roses. So let's tie the back and the front together and use a few of these around the porch. What do you think?
I love it.
for the finale of this trip, shopping for plants for some new window boxes.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. And let's
Maybe the little purple. And here, I got these.
Okay.
Okay.
And back at the house, we're making way for the new covered porch, which will expand across the entire front of the house.
The front porch is so important in the overall design and the Key West vibe that we're going for because we wanted to add some depth to the front of the house. Porches are huge in that area anyway, but we wanted to make sure it looked like it was an original part of the house, not an add-on.
The structure of the material of the front porch is all pressure treated pine. It's good against water decay, it's good against termites, and it's very good against mold.
And the porch is actually almost looking like a porch. With the framing all built, we're ready to start working on the decking. But Yvette's got to decide what kind of floor to put in, and I'm here to help.
What do we got, Barry? What's going on?
Well, the first one we got here is Ipe, used more in commercial applications. And this one here is Angel Heart, used for residential.
What's a better value for the homeowner?
That's important.
Definitely the Angel Heart.
Ipe and Angel Heart are both Brazilian hardwoods. Angel Heart is a little cheaper, but it'll also require less maintenance.
Which version of the Angel Heart do we like, though?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the red. I'd go for one of these, but I'm leaning towards natural. This really speaks Key West to me. I'm so excited.
And before we know it, the decking arrives. It's going to be a perfect addition to the Key West porch.
The Angel Heart wood is exactly the material that I wanted to use. I love it. It works really well with the overall Key West vibe. It's a natural material, it's very cost effective, and the predominant use is for residential design.
And new columns, handrails, and railings are added to complete the look.
Rail's going to be primed lumber, painted to match the rest of the trim on the house. And then we're going to use the decorator metal spindles that will be used as the slats between the rail posts.
I'm thrilled that the porch is almost done. I think concept is great and it's finally all come together, and we're looking forward to spending a lot of time enjoying it.
With the porch nearly finished, the house can finally get its color. We're going with the muted green that Yvette and JJ compromised on. It's bold and different without standing out too much from the neighborhood.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You like it?
I love it. What do you think?
This is very different. I love it though.
I really like it. It's so much better than what we had before.
For the accents, we're going with a crisp white, and Yvette will add a chocolate brown accent to tie it all together.
The chocolate brown and crisp white are fantastic accents for the muted green. The contrast is amazing. It really makes everything pop, and it makes me feel like I'm in Key West.
Now we're putting down a metal roof on the porch, and it's the pre-painted chocolate brown Yvette wanted. Plus, it's got other advantages.
There's a special ceramic additive that's been put into the paint so that a black roof, a dark bronze roof will meet the energy requirement for reflectivity due to this paint additive.
These huge sheets of metal are rolled out of a machine that they actually bring to the site. At $6,000, it's a little expensive, but a metal roof will bring the sound of the tropics to this house.
For a Key West-inspired home, it's really typical to see a metal-seamed roof. Plus, I was able to incorporate the chocolate brown from the shutters to the roof, and when it rains, the sound effects are amazing.
The paint is on and the porch is up. Looks like our designer has the key to unlocking this makeover.
Coming up, tips for a low-maintenance garden.
No maintenance doesn't exist in any garden. Low maintenance does though.
A surprise for JJ.
Oh my God!
When we're done, this house will have the look that JJ and Sonu have always wanted. Next. With the Sings Island makeover in full swing, our designer Yvette is working on a surprise for these homeowners.
That is cool. Really cool stuff, Howard.
She's meeting with a local artist about adding a custom sculpture to the center of the driveway, where the old tree used to be.
Maybe 2 loops on the top. Actually, that could kind of...
Oh, can we do 2 loops that meet into one? This would be a single, and then this would be a double. I love things that are symbolic, and I think there should be a purpose. I want drama, I want impact.
With inspiration from Yvette, Howard can get straight to work. A design made of copper will complement the new green house color as well as the brown accents. Back at the house, we're installing new shutters.
Well, those new shutters are a big improvement, wouldn't you say?
I would. I love them, and they're perfect because they pull really nicely from the metal seamed roof.
Yep.
And I love the louvers because it's really Key Westy and islandy.
Louver shutters are a popular choice in the South and in the Caribbean. They allow air to move in and out of the home while blocking out the sunlight, keeping it cool.
Cost for shutters, $300 per pair. And a new front door really rounds out the island excellence of this makeover.
You know, the old front door was just that. It was an old front door. It was heavy, there was no glass, it was solid, the paint was peeling.
The new door will keep the cold out and be the perfect complement to our new porch. And side lights on either side lighten up the outside and the inside of the house. With the house almost finished, we can finally turn back to the landscape.
Oh, these are heavy.
The Singhs are mostly interested in a yard that's as low maintenance as they can get.
Well, no maintenance doesn't exist in any garden. Low maintenance does, though, and some of the ways that you can prepare for that are to pick the right plant for the right place and to use mulch to conserve water and to prevent weed growth.
So he's adding plenty of lush plants to fill out their landscape all year round.
These are winter gem boxwoods, and these particular boxwoods don't grow too high.
And the new crepe myrtle trees go on either side of the porch.
A tree this size would probably run around $400 or so, depending on the market that you're in.
For that price, the Singhs are getting a good-sized tree, which they need for their large front yard.
The house is big. The house has got a big front porch on it, and we need big plants so that the plants don't look lost in the landscape.
For an added bonus, we're adding landscape on the house. Yvette picked out a few window boxes that are as Key West as they come.
We brought in the nice crisp white window boxes with the big faux brackets, which really ties in with the whole style of Key West and the tropical feel we're looking for.
And since they pop off for easy planting, Jeff and I are adding plants to green things up a bit. Adding shrubbery will make these last all year round.
This is English ivy. Looks like I'm brutalizing this plant, but it's going to
No, they like it, they like it.
Go ahead and place that down in the middle. That's it. So it hangs over. Arrange it down.
Look at that.
And there you go.
Remember the stone pathway to JJ's studio that clients could never find? We're taking it out and putting in a much more substantial flagstone walkway that will clearly guide clients right to the door of her studio. The flagstone is set in stone dust, which is less expensive than setting them in mortar, but a little faster and just as safe. And the same stone is going between the porch and driveway to tie everything together. We've got the landscape in and the house finished. Just a few more details and this place will be an island dream come true, with ceiling fans, a rich stain on the new door, and last but not least, the sculpture.
The sculpture's made in an infinity form, so it's a big figure 8 basically that loops around. And we added a couple extra loops to sort of symbolize the family members. It's made out of copper, and over the years it will patina to a nice green color, which will match the house even better in 5 years.
And a surprise for JJ that will be sure to greet her clients with style.
Advertisement for your business.
Oh my God!
It's aluminum, and it's 23 karat gold leaf on more aluminum bar. And
wow.
Just put this out by the driveway, and I think they'll find your studio pretty easily.
I am moved. I don't even know what to say. It's beautiful.
I love it. I love it. Maybe we'll drum up some business.
Well, we've got a little business, a lot of leisure, and a little island inspiration thrown in for good measure. This makeover's got us sitting back and kicking up our heels.
From the laid-back porch to the leisurely landscape, we found the key to this island makeover. See the results next.
JJ and Sonu Singh's traditional home didn't quite know how to mix business with pleasure. But with some Key West character and some Florida flair, this place now knows when to work and when to play.
This classic colonial was way too formal for our fun-loving homeowners. The paint was pale, the landscape nondescript, and the entry predictable. Plus, there was no place for these leisure lovers to relax. Designer Yvette Piaggio had a vision for this place, and she turned what was too traditional into an island-inspired abode. An old pale yellow didn't do this house justice, but a warm muted green, inspired by the Caribbean, gives this house the relaxed vibe it needed. Plus, pops of chocolate brown and crisp white accent this home's features. What was once a stodgy front entrance is now a spacious porch covering the entire front of the house, and a new front door adds elegance and light to the entry. Plus, with new furniture, ceiling fans, and island accents, this porch is now a spot the whole family can enjoy. When we first got here, JJ's studio entrance was lost in a sea of grass. But with a new flagstone path and custom sign, it looks like we're open for business. Before, the landscape hid the house and was growing where it shouldn't. But now, plants provide symmetry along the front porch, and new crepe myrtles add interest. Plus, low-growing grasses filling the circle in the driveway provides a low-key backdrop for a custom sculpture. What was once way too formal is now leisurely, luxurious, and laid back. With island inspiration, Key West character, and a few personal touches, we've taken this house and turned it into a paradise.
I always liked our house, but I felt like there was so much potential that wasn't being utilized.
It really looks amazing, doesn't it?
I know.
I feel like we just transformed the house. It's almost as if we knocked down the old one and built a new one. With the addition of the front porch, I feel like it gives the house a lot of depth and balances the whole thing, so it really looks like it was intended to be there from the very beginning. Sometimes I feel like I could be on vacation, like I'm sitting on the front of a beach house enjoying, my summer days. It's really nice.
Removing the pear tree was hard. You never want to see a tree cut down, but I think it really does open up the house, the fact that the tree is not there.
Having another artist create a piece of art for me inspired by my family is absolutely thrilling. It's a unique opportunity and it really creates a focal point for the house and for the yard.
I think the best thing is a lot of little details have really made this project extremely nice. All the little things have kind of brought it together to make it look like when this house was designed from the ground up, this was all a part of it.
The new style of our house is just so much fun, and it's such a better match to myself, my husband, my kids. It's a more youthful and vibrant and colorful vibe, and I just think it suits our family.
All right, can't have work without play. The work is done. Let's play, guys. How do you feel?
I couldn't be more excited. I feel like I got a brand new house.
It's kind of like casual with class.
Ooh, I like that. Thanks, of course, to Yvette.
I know. This never would have happened without Yvette. She's been great.
Thank you guys. You've been great, and it's been so much fun.
No, you've been great.
You've been greater.
All right.
Greatest.
You figure it out. Let me know. What would you do?
That's okay. I'm sorry. Can we start over? I'm sorry. Because it's very Key Westy and islandy.
I gotta go. This is my ride.